the highest leverage in the long run, highest leverage, is the people that we surround ourselves with. If you want to change yourself, if you want to develop as a human being, and you want the highest probability of doing it, it's to put yourself in the presence of people who are where you want to go and who have become who you want to become. It's the highest leverage. If you want the highest probability of success, surround yourself with the people who've already done what you want to do, who've already become who you want to become. And let it happen on its own. It happens automatically. Human beings, any two or more human beings, is a self-organizing system. Any two or more human beings is a self-organizing system. Watch them. It's miraculous. Self-organizing. They link up, they find their commonalities, they figure out how to build the connection. Self-organizing. There's nothing even close, anywhere in the same universe, as impactful, as influential on us as the people that are around us day to day. This is where the highest leverage is. You want to set a powerful condition in your life? Put a person who has accomplished what you want to accomplish or who has become who you want to become around you, or put yourself around them. Ultimately, the game is build a community of them. Build a community of them that you built. That's the formula here. I'll just cut to the chase. That's the formula. Build a community that you build of the people who've accomplished what you want to accomplish and who are who you want to become. That's it. Like, that actually could be the whole program. There you go. Really. That alone, if you don't do that, the rest of this stuff can't help you. And if you do that, the rest of this stuff is essentially ancillary in a lot of ways. The reason we need this program is to get ourselves thinking and operating in a way so we can build that community. That's what all these tools are for, is so that we build that community for ourselves. The flip side of the coin, though, I'm going to channel a little Wyatt. We'll take a visit to hell here. As Wyatt likes to say, camp out in their nightmares. But here's the other side of that coin. You might want to write this down. Never underestimate the influence that one negative person will have in your life. Okay? Never understand, I'm going to say it a different way. Never underestimate the power that one negative influence has to control your life. Never underestimate the power that one negative influence has to control your life. We've learned about systems. We've learned about how all the components work together and how every one of them is powerful, paradoxically. And if one of them doesn't work right, it can screw up the whole system. This is the crux of the matter here. You following me? Okay, we've come all this way in a manner of speaking, to get all that stuff so that you can really understand the power that one negative influence can have in your life. We're wired to allow them to influence us. Okay, we're wired to just pick up their belief systems, their thoughts, the way that they look at things, their self-talk, their self-esteem, their views on life. And you've heard the studies about how you take the 5 closest friends that someone has, you average them all out. That's the person in the middle. That's you. That's us. And if one of them is a negative influence, it screws up the whole system. So now that you understand systems, you can relate to it in a different way than you might have before. Because what most people do is they go, well, I've got a lot of friends, and some of them are kind of a boat anchor tied around my neck while I'm trying to swim. But a lot of them are good swimmers. I think it kind of averages out. Right? When you're swimming, a boat anchor around your neck, it's bad news, regardless. Okay? It's not a good thing. So this is a heavy message because when I communicate this, what often happens is good, caring, loving people will come back and say, but what about doing good things for people who are in need? Right? What about taking care of people who have fallen on bad times, or they're less fortunate, or they grew up in unfortunate circumstances and they just never really had a chance? And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about contributing to the lives of others. I'm not talking about charity. I'm not talking about doing your part to be a mentor and a friend and a shepherd for all of us. Of course we want to do that stuff. But we do not want to pull them in and make them our close friends while we're trying to get escape velocity in life. Never underestimate the power that one negative influence will have on your life and your success. I want to just keep saying it over and over until it's so driven home. Okay? And yes, I mean that one. Right? Yes, I mean that one too, and that one, and that one, that one. Yep, even that one. What about parents? It's a 10Xer for the parents. Yeah. Never underestimate the power, right, the negative influence can have on your life. So you have 2 choices, right? You can convert them to the light side, which, has anyone ever tried to turn someone from Darth Vader back into Anakin? Yeah, okay. All right. Who's got better than a 10% success rate on that process? Who's doing more than 1 out of 10? Okay, we got 1 person. Everybody, go figure out. Okay, we got a couple in the back there. So we got 3% of the audience does better than 1 in 10. All right. So if you're going to do it, you want to get some of their advice so you can get up to like a 20% probability of doing it. And then after you've tried and it doesn't work, remember my words. Let them boom through your head. Never underestimate. Never underestimate it. And now let's leave that behind, but let's keep it on our shoulder, talking into our ear. Because again, this is the crux of the whole thing. Okay? If you need to have your little crazy negative self-talk thing, your little pet thing where you criticize yourself or whatever, have it say, "Get rid of them, dumbass." Okay? Just have it remember that line, so you can use that anytime you want, because that one's valuable. And when it comes up and it says, "Get rid of them, dumbass," have me on the other shoulder, like going, "Do it." Now, I'm probably going to have a lot of people hate me over this one because They're going to blame it on me. I saw that guy on that thing, and he told me to get rid of you, and it's his fault. And okay. So I have to say it. You are 100% responsible for your decisions. Okay, got to make the decision like an adult. Don't blame this on me. Right? You got to do the math, figure it out. What I'll encourage you to do is to experience it, see what it's like. Okay, find a group of people that are making things happen, that are on the path, that don't have that need to complain, to victimize themselves and others, right? That aren't telling the story of poor me and pointing the finger at everyone else. Find a group of them, hang out with them, make a community of them. It's not going to be perfect. They're not always going to be happy. You know, we're not looking for a cartoon here or some kind of a fantasy land. But notice the impact that it has on you. Just notice what happens when you hang out with performers. I don't know why some people perform and some don't. I don't have the answer at this point. I think some of it's genetic, DNA, traits, some of it's culture, some of it's education, environment. There are a million factors. I don't know. I can't explain it. And find some of them, get around them, and get to work helping them become more successful. And have that be the core and the basis of the relationship and the tribe and the community, is you helping them become more successful in all the areas of their life. Take everything you're learning here, everything you've learned everywhere else, and bring it to them, and just relentlessly help them become more successful without regard for what it's doing for you. That's the formula. Notice the effect that it has on you. Right? When you wake up in the morning, notice how you take care of yourself differently. How a person is caring for themselves is a big indicator about what's going on the inside of them. Right? You know when someone kind of stops taking care of themselves a little bit, some way that they used to groom themselves, and they do it for a few days, you know, what's wrong? Well, as you start kind of getting more self-confidence, self-esteem, you start making things happen, you're around people that are doing things, you can see it happening right in front of you. That's when you start taking better care of yourself. You revere your body. You realize, oh, wow, okay, I got to take care of myself. Start taking care of your emotions. You just start kind of shaping up. So surround yourself with performers. Later, after you've got everything locked, okay, and you're super healthy, emotionally strong, intellectually really jamming, learning, collaborating with others, you've got success. If you want to experiment then, bringing some negative influences back in, fine, do it then. You'll see it's probably not the best idea then either. Next question that comes up is, okay, well, you know, this close friend of mine is with this negative influence, and I know they're doing the whole crab in the bucket thing. You know, you catch two crabs and you put them in the bucket and they pull each other back in. Oh, what do I do? So what everyone thinks is like, okay, that means go home and call them up and say, I'm firing you as my friend. You know, no. Add positive influences, build your community, and just by focusing on that, this will just drift away on its own, organically, over time. I mean, unless you're in a relationship with someone where there's like physical abuse happening or, you know, it's really bad, you just get to work building your community, and 90 days from today, the little raft will have drifted away, and it won't have been traumatic, and it'll be okay. Okay? They'll be okay. They're a